How are you?
What's your Instagram page? Hey guys, and welcome to the first chapter of the Malt Chronicles. Sorry, we're super psyched. We are super psyched. So, I'm the host. My name's Avatar. This is
Vas, and it took us about 8 months of training and prepping and tasting and buying and collecting and learning and reading before we can shoot this video. So we are super excited now.
And this is...
I'm David, I'm the beard.
That's what we're gonna say.
In our first video, what we're going to do, we're just going to give you a step-by-step little rundown how we do things here in Winston's bunker at the Malt Chronicles. You're with us, the Malt Chronicles. Okay, so this here is Winston, okay? It's a box. It's very, very simple. One of us, each time, will pick a drink, a whiskey, a rum, a cognac, or etc., etc. But mainly whiskey. We love whiskey and bourbon. And we'll put it inside the box without the other two knowing what's actually in there, okay? So we're testing each other. But we're testing each other just to find a bit of truth, okay? So it's just about having a bit of fun, and that's what we do on the channel. It's about having a bit of fun. Okay, so guys, this week, it was my turn to choose what went inside Winston. So right now what we're going to do is what we like to call a reveal. So you is ready for a reveal?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So, this is the first ever whiskey that went into Winston for our first chapter. Here we go. Ready? And it is, boom! It is an AnCnoc.
Oh,
AnCnoc. 12 years old. Okay, there's a reason why I chose it. I'm going to tell you a bit in a minute. But what we're going to do now, we're going to go into our second bit of the video now, where we like to call a blind. So earlier on today, these two sat down with a blind dram, so they didn't know that it was the AnCnoc, it was blind. Okay, they sat down and they were assessing what they were drinking and they gave it a little score, okay? So we're just going to go to that right now. So see you in a bit.
hello.
I'm very well, thank you.
Is it me you're looking for? Hello. You know what I smell? Like a fresh breeze.
That was what I was trying to get at. I was trying to work it out. Yeah, a fresh breeze.
Crisp, fresh,
Golden syrup.
sweet, corn syrup. Corn syrup. That's a breakfast whiskey. Cream soda.
Oh, I totally disagree with that. I definitely agree with the sweet side of things, but...
Citrusy. Medium to long finish. Shall we agree it's a single malt?
Yeah. A single malt from Highland, maybe?
How much would you pay for that?
£40. It's not...
35, 40 pounds. Nothing too complex.
Yeah. Nothing to write home to mum about.
But nothing wrong to say about whiskey. Like,
No.
try and dislike this whiskey. Age? Around 12, I would say.
I was thinking 8 to 12 max.
I would give it 3 stars.
Yeah, 3 stars. I think it's a nice whiskey. It's not one that I'm never going to say no to, as I said.
Like, oh my god, I've tried one whiskey one night in a garage with 2 bastards, and that's the best whiskey I've had. No.
Oh, so boys. Space side,
huh?
Space side, yeah?
Is it space side? Space side?
No, it's not space side. It's silent. And we're gonna get into that. Okay.
No, all space
So,
islands. Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, all space sides are Highland. I mean,
Yeah, well, technically, okay, fair enough. You're right. Okay, here we go into it now. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the AnCnoc and the AnCnoc 12 and the distillery that it comes from. Okay, just give you a little lowdown because that's what we do here. We like to pass on some little bit of knowledge, but not too much. We won't bore you. Okay, so this comes from a place in Scotland, in the Highlands. Okay, and it comes from Banffshire in Huntly. Okay, and a distillery which is called AnCnoc. Okay, now AnCnoc is a distillery that's got a very similar name to another distillery. So what they decided, okay, and that other distillery, by the way, is based in this Bayside, and it is called AnCnoc. And so people didn't get confused with that. They actually named their whiskey AnCnoc. So in 1894, the doors opened to the distillery. All right. So another thing that's very interesting. So they made some good whiskey for time, but then they did hit a little bit of a snag. Okay, and it happened in the 1983, where the United Distillers, there was a, I don't know what happened, a conflict. Yeah, well, at the time it was actually, and they basically were closing down lots of distillery, and unfortunately, AnCnoc was one of the distilleries they actually chose to close down, and they also closed down, which is what you know about, is Rosebank and Port Ellen distillery. So it got closed down. In 1988, a company called In the House Distillers, they reopened the distillery, and I'm proud to say that they reopened it, and they didn't change a lot. They kept it traditional. They liked the whiskey they were producing there, and they kept it traditional. Even to the point where they still use the traditional worm tubs. So the new distiller at the time, Gordon Bruce, he kept things lots of with tradition. And do you know what a funny thing is actually? Do you know what they call the workers there at the distillery? They call them the men of knock. Men of knock.
So I'm going to knock.
Alright, so I'm going to tell you a bit about now the 12-year-old expression. Why did I choose the 12-year expression? Well, for a start, the 12-year expression has won bucket loads of awards. Okay, it's a very easy, soft drinking dram. Okay, now I'm going to pass you up to Nose, because I know he loves to fill up a bottle or two.
I've just noticed on the back it's 40% alcohol.
It's 40%, but there is a 43 out there to be found. Unfortunately, in the UK, it's very hard to find the 43, so I was only able to buy the 40 AVB. The reason why I put the pronunciation on the AVB, because this one over here was kicking my backside for saying it wrong all the time.
Just to make it clear, these two are dyslexic.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah.
So it's, in terms of logistics, it's a pain in the ass for me, because I have to do all the writing and reading.
Alright. The viewers don't need to know about that. Okay.
So they do 12, 16, 18, 21, they do
35,
they do a bunch of different peated
expressions as well, and they've done some travel retail expressions as well. So this distillery is making loads of whiskey out there that needs to be found. So please have a little go for yourselves with the AnCnoc whiskey. For me, let's talk about the taste now. For me, oh man, I thought it was very light, easy, zesty, fruity, lovely hits of like, you know, I like to describe desserts. For me, it's like lemon meringue. It's like lemon meringue. You get that little sweetness, but that lemon element really is very, very much inside there. But then with a little drowse of honey as well, a little drizzle of honey, a little drizzle. Not drowse, a little drizzle.
Cereals.
Yeah, cereals.
Cereals. Cool.
No,
cereal.
what did you pick up?
No, it's very sweet and fresh. There's nothing overwhelming in the whiskey. We called it on the blind tasting a breakfast whiskey. You can easily sip on that.
Yeah.
You can easily just chew on that all day.
You get the slight bitterness.
Yeah, just at the end, just a fine kiss. A fine kiss. I like to say a fine kiss.
I'd like to describe it more of an oakiness than a peatiness, because it's a slightly different character from a peat for me. But that's just me. Taste is subjective.
Now, was your beard tingling when you tasted it? Come on, speak to us.
I wouldn't say it was tingling, but that's a little fluff. You can watch that back. I like it, and as Vas said, yeah, very much cereals, that breakfast whiskey, very very light, easy drinking. There's no complaint. You can pour me another dram and I'll happily drink it.
You know, it's actually the first time I'm trying an AnCnoc. It's the first time I'm trying.
It's the first time I'm trying 12.
It's actually the first time I'm trying it as well. And well, which one have you tried before?
The travel retail around my age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you reckon?
I prefer 12.
First 12. Alright guys, so now what we're about to do next is we're going to do some scoring, but before we do some scoring, this is the bit we like to say, Vas, what are the facts? So can you give us a little fact?
Yeah, so because we like to learn from each other here,
Yeah.
we have a tradition. I have to bring them a whiskey fact, a random one.
Yeah.
So for today, I actually have it on the little paper in here.
Nice.
And it's actually a really funny one. Pretty sure you're gonna like it.
Do we have to raise our glasses?
No, you don't.
Okay.
But if you wanna drink whiskey, please do. So in 2005, unknown businessman on an auction bought a 62 years old Dalmo, only 12 bottles made in 1945. This is where it gets funny. I think 62,000, yeah? He went into a hotel with his friends and drank it that night in the room. Now for that, I have to say, wow. That's what whiskey is for.
Exactly,
Drinking.
whiskey is there to be drunk, okay? So now we're gonna go into the scores. This is the brass tacks. So, David, what did we score this?
Let's say very easy drinking. I loved it. I gave it 3 stars earlier in the blind, so in my top corner you're gonna see a little 3, but I gave it 79.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a strong 83. It's a good whiskey, nothing too overwhelming, nothing too complex. I normally say that to people who are getting into whiskeys, start with something like that.
Something light, very
It's a
elegant.
good start. It's a good start of
It
whiskey.
is a very, very good style whiskey. And just for that, do you know what? I actually really enjoyed it. It's just very, very easy to pick up and drink. I gave it a solid 87. An 87. So, that includes the scores. Now, we have told you a little bit about our styles and we have told you our story. Okay, now we want to know about you guys out there. So please, 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 this is our first video. Hit us up with a comment. Let us know what you like, what you dislike, what you want to see more of. It really help us out to deliver to you guys. Okay, and then on that note, not too many of these, and on that note, let's raise our glasses. We won't raise our glass with this one because this is our first video, guys.
This is
the first video.
There's gonna be a lot.
This is gonna be a lot.
It's gonna be a lot.
Alright? And we like to just say, from the Malt Chronicles, and we're out.